He then says the bottom line is this: that nihilists cannot, and here's the key, rationally condemn other people's morality as wrong or incorrect. Right? We can say, I don't like it, or I view that as icky, or
it's alarming.
Yeah. You like pistachio ice cream?
That's right.
It's the same thing as Auschwitz was fine. You know, the two claims there are synonymous with each other.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of taste. So
because nihilism holds that there is no right answer.
Right.
It's whatever you want it to be or whatever, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it cannot rationally condemn it. So that's the thing. So according to nihilism, the revulsion you feel is simply that, a feeling. Morality is ultimately a matter of taste or preference, as we've previously established as well.
So this is really close then to, we're getting back to Hume's, sentimentalism, right?
Yeah.
Feelings and that sort of thing is kind of the idea here, which is, nihilistic if we think about it, right?
But this position proves difficult to practice consistently, even for someone as daring as Rosenberg, who we've already established. He revisits the question of moral disagreement and condemnation. He admits that he and others do condemn moral actions, and most of us consider morally wrong. So he talks about like honor killings and genital mutilations and Bushido codes and stoning of women, committing adultery, cutting off thieves with their right hand. Isn't the high dungeon we want to affect in the face of this sort of barbarianism flatly inconsistent with nihilism? And he answers, well, not only do we condemn the blinkered morality and intolerant religions, the narrow-minded cultures nowadays, we condemn some moral norms that we ourselves used to embrace, which goes back to the evolution of our morality. We're better today. We are better today than we were 500 years ago. We'll pick whatever your timeline, whatever you're talking about, because you could just be talking about last year in 2019.
Of course, if moral nihilism is true, you can't make a statement like that.
And I think that's where it kind of has a better take, because if you want to say that we evolve our morality, right now you can't say that you're in good moral standing because you're always going towards something. You could say that your morality is best suited for your environment for survival now, but that's really hard to see that case for it. And so, a correction where we even go back in a circular form of morality. Maybe we view honor killings as a good thing later on because, pick your reason. So,
so the best we could say is we've changed over time.
Right.
Not that we progressed necessarily.
Right. And so at least with nihilism, you could say, well, it's just icky for me. And it's like, well, okay, as soon as you die off, then it's no longer icky for you. And, we can continue on. So we think of change, progress, improvement, enlightenment in our moral consciousness is what Rosenberg goes on to say. And Dr. Sok says this is actually difficult to take seriously, given that he believes that there are no correct answers to moral disagreements. He says that if Rosenberg is pushed, that he's not interested in correct answers after all. But this is a difficult to square with the rhetorical point of his question: where do we get off condemning other people's moral codes? Maybe his response really just is, it's a free country. We can do what we want. I have the freedom to judge people, and and there's nothing that stops me. So there you go. It's always easy to be logical. It's always impossible to be logical to the bitter end. And so it's a really good point, because if you're just going to say, kind of a utilitarian approach of, we know we're moral creatures because we want to limit the suffering of other people. Well, that's just a point right now. But if you take this kind of nihilistic approach and says that there's no moral standards at all, what it is, I mean, you could point it towards a biology aspect and say our moral questions are more rooted in biology. At least here, nihilism is establishing a universal truth of, that there's no good or bad.
Right. Yeah. So we got to be careful though when we make universal truths.
Oh, I mean, that's always the case. Yes.